There's a fact, an absolute fact, and that is that you can release all of the files you want on JFK in particular. RFK, MLK, not too sure about that, but JFK. And you're not going to find out anything. If you think there is a file somewhere, if you think there's some trove of documents that the CIA or somebody has, you're out of your mind. It's not there. There's nothing written down. Let me give you an example of something. The guy that... let me back up. What I wanted to know is, and I got to be careful of the particular algorithms here. The person who dispatched President Kennedy, or it might have been a number of them, most probably assigned military, professional, and the like, not Lee Harvey Oswald. Nothing. Not one shot. He was not involved in anything. He didn't know anything. Even the rifle that was found in the nest was a Mauser. It said Mauser at the time. And these were folks who had just been in World War II, these cops and investigators, and they held it up, and there it was, stamped on the side. It wasn't a Mannlicher or Carcano. Come on, stop it. And the most important piece of evidence that points to a conspiracy is the bullet hole in the front of the windshield. Now, there is a conspiracy. There is, meaning two or more people involved in some kind of nefarious effort. That's it. It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald or J. Hoover. Interesting pun. It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald by himself. But there's something very, very interesting. There was a guy here named Lucien Sarti. And this is a guy who I've always been interested in. He was a really key and pivotal person in the French-Corsican heroin network. And this is also very interesting, led by this a Nazi collaborator, Auguste Joseph Ricord. I'm not going to try to do any kind of French or foreign accent. I can't do it. And he has long been implicated in the dispatch, if you will, of President Kennedy. And according to a number of investigative journalists, his involvement, theoretically, it was always suggested, was orchestrated by this Antoine Guerini and executed with the help of two other members of the Marseilles mob. And it goes on and on. It is believed that Sarti himself is believed to have fired the fatal shots, the serious ones, behind the wooden fence in the grassy knoll. And he was believed to have been the individual who was known as Badge Man, who was known for using uniforms and disguises and using frangible bullets, which allow for this massive explosion and the like. It is very easy to believe that he and his others, Marseille and Corsican connection. Remember, that's where the heroin was coming from then. Later on, it moved to Southeast Asia and Mexico, which might have been one of the reasons he was dispatched to Mexico City when he was like 34 years old. Let me stop right there. Okay, what I just told you, terrific. What does that mean? Nothing. Prove it. It's not in any paper. There's not a file. There's not some document. Nobody wrote anything down. You can look through whatever you want. This is a lost leader. It's a limited hangout. It's a con. Whatever it is. You're never going to find out. First of all, everybody's dead, number one. Number two, it was a different world then. How do you explain this to people? Look, there is a cottage industry right now of the JFK investigator, the investigative reporter. And they give you this nonsense about, well, the lady who owned and this, and she was the landlady and Tippett, and they shot him, but it was a 38 versus a 45, and this and that, and the man with this, he had the coke, and how did he get down? And then there was E. Howard Hunt, and they threw all this stuff at you, and it's this smattering of dibs and dabs and daubs of paint to try to put together a mosaic, and the problem is nobody knows what it is. And then you've got this Jack Schlossberg, this whacked out Kennedy kid who's living under some kind of weird. This kid, I've seen tweakers and people on YouTube arrest videos who seem more together than this guy. This guy's a lunatic. In any event, he's weighing in now. And the people who are responsible for this are long gone, because the America that was involved in this is long gone. We can't do anything. Can you imagine, dear friends, what it would have looked like on the 22nd of November, what am I saying, in 63, if we had had cell phones? You know what I submit? It wouldn't have made a bit of difference. And the reason why is that there would have been so much confusion, so much photoshopping and AI, the authentication of the videos, nothing matters. And there's a reason why it is. Some of it's perceptual, some of it is what am I trying to say? Some of it perceptual, some of it is psychological and the like. And the reason for it is simply this. First, Americans are the worst when it comes to trying to figure out who's who. We're not conspiratorial, meaning we don't even know what a conspiracy is. We still use that term to mean synonymous with crazy. Okay, that's number one. Number two, they don't know how things work together historically because they don't know about history. This was 18 years after World War II. And all of the people from the OSS and then the CIA later on and all that, but those were from a time where the government worked with the mob, and worked with OSS, and they all worked together. Vito Genovese gave information regarding Sicilian operational spots in Sicily during World War II. He was a patriot, Vito Genovese. There was Johnny Roselli and Santo Traficante and Carlo Marcello and all those people who worked together in concert to try to topple Castro. And the reason for Barbarossa and others, and the reason for that, believe it or not, was because they both had a concomitant interest. You had the mob, whose operational structure was destroyed by Castro. The same way the mob had the mafia, the Sicilian mafia, was destroyed by Mussolini. So they worked together. That doesn't happen anymore. We don't really have that. I mean, maybe sort of, it's a different world. We didn't care. I mean, Gladio was the closest we worried about communism elsewhere. And then later on afterwards, Cold War stuff kind of reframed the focus. So what I'm saying is that the reason why we're not going to find this out is that you have to understand the mindset of this country and the intel operational systems then, which are completely different than what they are right now. Completely and totally different. Absolutely, positively different. You've got to grasp that. There are no files. The president can say, here, go ahead, here's a key. Go look through whatever. You're going to get a new person dead. You're going to get a new picture dead. There's no video of this. All the information is there. The question is, who did it? Who ordered it? Who were the actual operational fixtures? Bang, bang. Who were these people? You're not going to find that out. But yet, there's this cottage industry of these JFK experts who just know names. So I'll throw out Lucien Sarti. I'll throw out all these names. There's these this goes back. Which school of thought? But I like this idea. The idea is that they come in through Mexico up into Texas. They hang out for about a week or so. They get a lay of the land. They look and see. They scout. They're good snipers. They figure out, okay, this is that. There's the trestle here. There's a school book. Okay, here's this. Here's the good picket fence. Ooh, it even holds a kind of a brace for that. That's good. I'll put a badge. I'll put this. I'll have that. I have our folks. There were all these people because there was a parking lot, there was a train, and there are people who kind of walked up, and the one guy who was deaf, another one who was on leave, and there were all these people. And they'll tell you flat out what they saw. They say, I heard the shots coming from here. I heard, okay. Look at the way we're responding to the LA fires. Nobody's doing anything. Okay, all right. Same thing with Diddy. Okay. We're not good at processing information. So not only I mean, even if you said, here is what happened, nobody would understand it or grasp it because they're too busy, because they need something else, because they have the attention span of a gnat. Lucien Sarti. This was Carlos Marcello. This was the connection. This is Marseilles, France, French connection. They were there. Professionals, real good. You don't want to get somebody who's American. Get somebody here who can be whacked and taught. But somebody who has a different mindset. Somebody who has a different mindset. A real pro. Somebody who's... It's kind of the way... But that's the way they thought. They were more international. And plus the mob then. You can't... Nobody can compare Santo Trafficante to anybody else. Just listen to the mob genre, as they say. Listen to these people. Listen to the same four people talk about Ronnie One Arm and Fat Tony. Okay, great. How many times have you heard this story? In the old days, there was a level of complexity and organizational genius that was conflated in good guys and bad guys. So do some research on Lucien Sarti. Look at him. Badge man, frangible bullets, exploding bullets, uniforms. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah. And you know what you found out right now? Nothing. Now do me a great favor. Go out about your business. Have a great and a glorious day. But listen to me right now. 87% of the people who watch my videos don't subscribe. 87%. I need your help. Please subscribe. Put your name down, subscribe, and be a part of our organizational genius. All right? Do us a favor and become a part of Lionel Nation and subscribe. Now comment, dear friends. Comment as you see fit.